I'm with Jake Rainford today, who is the Managing Director at Creative Individuals Digital. So welcome, Jake. Great to meet you.
How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Looking forward to having a chat. Tell us all about Creative Individuals Digital then.
So yeah, we're a creative agency, and we predominantly focus on like video production. A bit of a background story from me. I've made videos and created content all around the world. We started up in Malta. That was over about 4 or 5 years ago. Working with contacts from Intercontinental, Corinthia, working with these big tech summits, to living in the UK, based in Chorley, creating videos from businesses of all different sizes and sectors, really.
And what are the best types of businesses for you to work with? Where does that tend to fit best?
I think for me, it's not so much sectors. It's more if the like values and the sort of business model sort of fits the stuff that we want to work with. So it's not so much sector based. It's more on their goals and whether we can achieve what they want. We've been working quite closely with Vimto recently, which was quite a big client. We've got some clients from within the mental wellbeing space, and again, we work closer with businesses. We want to understand what their goals are, what their business model is, and see how we can integrate videos within their sales funnel, whether it's putting them on social media or on the website, really. So to answer your question, it's not so much a specific sector; it's more on the business themselves and their values.
Yeah, and where you can add value.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Great. So, what would you say differentiates your business, Jake, from other video production companies and digital companies?
I think the difference between us and other videographers is we like to work closer with the business. I'll give an example just so it makes it easier to explain. There's a company called 3D GBIRE that we work with, who are in the additive manufacturing industry, which is essentially 3D printing. And we got in contact. Well, they got in contact with us. They wanted to have a video made. So we made this company overview video. But then what we did alongside that was get to know their industry, so that the videos that we could create was more targeted towards their audience. So to differentiate us from other videographers, rather than just giving you a video and then leaving you with it, we want to work with you and come up with like a video strategy. So it's using that video as a tool rather than just something that looks visually appealing. We want to give you something that's going to generate income. There's going to be other videographers and other video agencies out there that do the same thing, but locally, that's what I feel like our unique selling point is.
Great. I like that. So, what does the future look like for the business? What are the challenges and what are the opportunities?
It's interesting, this one, because with the whole AI thing coming into play, I don't know how much you know about all that sort of stuff, but I'm always on the lookout for like different tools and trends that are coming up within video. Within the video space and like social media specifically, people's attention span's gone down to like 3 seconds. So it's understanding how we can sort of keep people engaged from the get-go of a video, as well as tell a story or a brand story. So in terms of challenges, that's definitely a challenge, because trying to keep people engaged through a 60-second video to sort of have enough time to tell that message, that's been the biggest challenge. And depending on how AI goes, that could be a challenge in itself.
Yeah, what do you see happening there in the world of AI?
I don't know. I've watched a lot of podcasts around it, and I'm not scared of it, because I'm one of these people that sort of will adapt to whatever's thrown into whatever situation I'm thrown into. I think it's going to help for the positive. I'll be honest. But I think the people who don't sort of keep up with that technology, that's the stuff that sort of scares me, because I know a lot of people who aren't very tech savvy. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I could speak for hours and hours about AI. I really could.
So you obviously do a lot of research and keeping up with what's happening, as well as doing the business. So it keeps you busy. How do you balance your business life and personal life? How do you find that?
I think it's the work-life balance has always been a difficult one. Obviously, I've just had a newborn baby 3 months ago, I don't know if he's actually classed as a newborn now, but to me he's still a newborn. So the balancing act, I'm still sort of working that out because everything I do comes from like a place of passion, and it was a hobby to start off with. It's really difficult to switch off, and I find a lot of business owners will probably have the same issue because they enjoy what they do. So yeah, it's that's a challenge in itself, and it's something I'm still trying to figure out, to be honest.
So you've worked abroad. You've come back into the UK, and you've got a successful business now going. You've worked with some big brands. What have you learned along the way, from a business perspective as well as from a personal perspective?
I think the biggest thing is consistency. It's weird because it's like I don't see myself as a business owner. It's really weird saying this, but I don't feel myself as a business owner. I feel like I've just been making videos, making websites for people, and just built this company. But I don't see myself as a bit of a business owner. But to take a step back out of that, the thing that I'd probably say that has made me a business owner is the consistency of always showing up every day. There's times where things are really difficult, and you've just got to keep your head level and just be consistent, really, and always show up.
Absolutely, yeah. Front foot first and all that.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Like, there's always spanners that are being thrown into the works, and it's just how you adapt. But I think I've always been sort of like a logical thinker, where if something does present itself, I just sort of sit there and think, right, how do I problem fix this? And I think that comes from like a bit of a coding background. So when I used to do websites, if something breaks, it's like, rather than panic, it's like sit there and think, right, how do we solve it?
Great, good background. So if you were starting all over again, a bit of a hypothetical question, but with the benefit of hindsight, knowing what you now know, what might you do? What might you have done differently?
I think building a solid brand from the get-go is quite important. The reason why I shifted over from being Jake Rainford as a freelancer to creative individuals was I thought it was a way of getting in touch with all these bigger contacts and bigger companies and actually make them look at us as a big entity to be able to work with us. So that's a big thing. And I think the challenges and problems that I faced was not charging enough. So I'd almost undercharge all the time. And then when I'd pitch to these big clients, they thought they was dealing with a cowboy rather than someone who knew what they were doing. So to start it again, I would build a brand, a solid brand, have a website that's user friendly, and price your jobs properly rather than trying to undercut and think that you're not going to get the work because you're trying to undersell yourself.
So kind of start as you meant to go on.
I would say so, yeah. But I don't think, without going through all the challenges and mistakes, I don't think you can get to this point now without knowing that. So yeah, knowing what I know now, if I could start again. But I feel like going through all that, I've learned a hell of a lot.
I did say it was hypothetical.
Yeah.
Yeah. But great advice for anyone listening, and anyone starting off in business. Superb.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
No, sorry. I was about to say, like, I hope to get someone gets something out of this podcast because I feel like I don't know much. But yeah, if someone can get one piece of advice, then I'm happy with that.
You know a lot more than you think you know, I think, Jake. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
No, it's not a problem at all.